Dirty Dom begins his dirty reign as the NXT North American Champion. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your NXT review for the 18th of July 2023. This show was main evented by the North American title match. It was Wesley, who's had the belt for what feels like forever now. It feels like he's had the belt for about 10 years. Good news is he won't have it much longer because he did lose to DOMINIK Mysterio. DOMINIK Mysterio is now the North American Champion, and the Bloodline have two big belts as part of their collection. But I do have an issue, I do have a problem. There was a couple of things I did not like. First of all, does it make any sense DOMINIK Mysterio winning the NXT North American Championship? Because when Solo Sikoa had the NXT title, the NXT North American Championship, and he moved to SmackDown, he had to forfeit the belt because he wasn't allowed to go to SmackDown for some reason. He wasn't allowed to bring the North American Championship from NXT to SmackDown, so he had to forfeit the belt. And it's like, okay, well, I guess they don't want to bring belts on different shows, fair enough. But why now is DOMINIK Mysterio winning the North American Championship and he's going to take it to Raw? Now, I'm sure he will also be on NXT. I'm sure he's also going to appear on NXT, and it's probably going to be a way of getting the Bloodline on NXT, trying to increase the rating, viewership of the show. I totally get that, but it just doesn't make logical sense why Solo Sikoa had to forfeit the belt, yet DOMINIK Mysterio can do whatever he wants. Because if they had Solo keep the belt, then it meant every member of the Bloodline would have had a title, and I just think that would have been a much better visual if you looked at the Bloodline and you have Solo Sikoa with the North American title, the Usos with the tag titles, and then Roman Reigns, obviously undisputed Universal Champion. But they didn't allow Solo Sikoa to have the NXT North American title, so it makes me wonder why they're allowing DOMINIK Mysterio to have it. But I think it could work if he defends it on Raw, if he carries it on Raw, defends it on NXT, carries it on NXT. He's getting a lot of heat. I'm sure if he can keep retaining this belt, cheating to win this belt, cheating to retain this belt, then I'm sure the crowd will boo the shit out of him even more. Maybe he can lie, cheat and steal his way to a very long NXT North American title reign. I have no problem with DOMINIK Mysterio. I think DOMINIK Mysterio's alright. You know, he gets a big loud reaction, so fuck it, why not? Stick a belt on him. My problem is, it's the women in WWE. Again, I complained about this on Raw. We've seen Valhalla cost the Viking Raiders. We've seen something that Rhea Ripley got involved. Somebody else attacked somebody. Another woman attacked somebody on Raw. And now on NXT, it's Rhea Ripley smacking Wesley with the belt. Like, why? What is WWE's fascination with just having to portray women as superior to men? Women have to do all the heavy lifting. Women have to do all the superiority shit in the ring. Women have to make men look small while they look big. When was the last time we've seen a confrontation, whether it be physical or verbal? When was the last time in WWE where a man walked away from a woman and he was actually like looking big, looking strong, and she was the one that came on? She was like on the receiving end of not even a beatdown, but a verbal beatdown. When was the last time after an interaction the woman looked weak and the man looked strong in WWE? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time that fucking happened? I can't even remember. I cannot remember. You look at WWE Raw, and last night it was just women belittling men. You got Becky Lynch belittling The Miz. You got Valhalla getting involved in the match. You had Rhea Ripley doing what Rhea Ripley does. And then tonight on NXT, of course, you have Rhea Ripley costing Wesley the belt. Like, is Wesley going to come out next at SummerSlam and smack the shit out of Rhea Ripley so she loses her belt to Raquel? Is that going to happen? Probably not. So, even the way that women talk down to men, look at Becky Lynch saying that if The Miz doesn't, you know, she's threatening The Miz, shouting in his face, saying that if he doesn't get his guests out here, he's going to have no balls left. So, basically, she's going to castrate The Miz. Would that happen in reverse? Would you get The Miz going on? What was Alexa Bliss's shitty TV show called? I can't remember. But would you get a guy going on threatening a woman like that, saying you better get somebody out here now or I'm going to chop off your boobs? Would you get that? No, you would not. You would not get any of that. Or you better get your guest out here, or I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. Would you get that? No, you wouldn't get that. But for some reason in WWE, we see time and time again, they're like, oh, you know, the women are strong and men are weak. We can't have intergender. I don't know why I'm doing a John Laurinaitis impersonation. And the whole reason why they say they don't do intergender wrestling anymore, and why they don't do any sort of male on female altercations and any physical stuff, is because they say that promotes domestic abuse. They say it promotes domestic abuse. So if that is really true, so what WWE are saying by that is that they don't care if women beat up men in the household, as long as men don't beat up women. That is it. If you're a woman, you can beat up your wife. That is fine. If you're a sister, you can beat up your brother. That is fine. But God forbid the roles are reversed. It just makes no fucking sense, man. I mean, look at wrestling. It's a like entertainment show based on people beating each other up to try and win matches. Like, what is this? How does that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, you see people. Does that mean they're promoting you going out in the open world and just smacking people with steel chairs as long as they're male? So, but God forbid we can't see a man do anything to a woman because it's entertainment, and if a man does anything to a woman on WWE TV, it's going to lead to domestic violence. But if we see someone batter somebody with a cane, it doesn't mean they're going to go outside and do it. I mean, like, it's dumb. It's fucking entertainment. You can't blame shit what happens in WWE. Like when people commit murders and they go, oh, the video game, it's fuck all to do with the video games, right? This is a form of entertainment, and if you can't grasp that, then you shouldn't be watching it, or your parents shouldn't be allowing you to watch it, right? This is all fake shit at the end of the day, and I just don't see why we can't have men defend themselves, because apparently it's going to lead to domestic violence. No. If there's a man beating up his wife, it's because he's a fucking arsehole. It's not because he's seen it happen on WWE television. Let's get that right. Anyway, rant over. Now it's time we can move on to the NXT review. But I had to say that, guys. It fucking pisses me off how we get blamed on shit. Like, oh, we can't have men stand up for themselves on WWE because then in the house they're going to attack their wives. I mean, no, what the fuck? Definitely not. Absolutely garbage. Fucking garbage. Anyway, and also, I mean, if we can't have the men at least defend themselves or stick up for themselves, I would just prefer they had zero interaction between men and women then, if that's the way it's going to be, because they are belittling men on every single show. And I get it, The Miz has been belittled time and time again, but why is The Miz afraid of fucking Becky Lynch? This is a guy that's held the WWE title multiple times. Look at back in the day, the Attitude Era. I mean, who would have been afraid of, let's say Trish Stratus. Who was afraid of Trish Stratus? Who would have been backing up because Trish Stratus was threatening them in 99 or 2000? You think Austin would have been backing up trying to escape the ring because Trish Stratus was shouting at him? No, he'd have dropped that bitch with a stone cold stunner. And you know that's what would have happened, but whatever. Doesn't happen anymore. Right, we get Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes come out. Then Dragunov comes out. I do not like Dragunov. I cannot stand Dragunov. I don't know why Dragunov's getting a big push. Just a boring guy that can't really speak English. He does some stupid thing with his hands when he's coming out. He's just a basic guy. He's a wrestler. He's a fucking wrestler. No character, no gimmick, no personality, no nothing. All this guy can do is wrestle. Oh, look at this. He wrestles stiff. Oh, he hits hard chops. Who gives a fuck about a chop? What is people's fascination now with chop? Oh, look at Gunther. He's hitting it. And what is it? What Big E tweets out big sweaty men or something like this. Big meaty chops. It's like, how gay is this shit? Seriously. I don't give a fuck about chops. The only time chops were good was when Ric Flair was doing them. Woo! That's it. I don't care about Gunther if he does hard chops, or if Dragunov can take hard chops. I mean, the only chops I care about are probably pork chops that you'd have for your dinner or something like that. Something tasty. I don't give a shit. I mean, people would say Gunther is better than fucking Shawn Michaels because he can do a hard hitting chop. I mean, who gives a shit about chops? I don't. Anyway, let's move on. Heritage Cup, Nathan Fraser champion, and Dragon Lee versus Los Lavarios. Fraser and Dragon Lee win. They've got the two hot Latinas at ringside or whatever. Angel Garza and Carrillo lose. and then they tease them splitting up. Look, I don't give a fuck. I hope they do split up, and while they're splitting up, just get them off NXT, get them off TV. I don't get this. Like, look, Baron Corbin, this is a guy that has always had potential, and you can argue that they bottled that, they wasted that, they threw it away, whatever. But they're trying to get it back. And what I would say about Baron Corbin being on NXT is, at least they're trying to redeem this guy. I think there is value in Baron Corbin. We just need to find it. We just need to unlock it again. There's no value in the likes of Dana Brooke and these Los Lavario people. So why are they getting put on NXT now? I just feel like NXT is being used to put on all the bums, all the jobbers, all the people that can't fucking cut it on the main roster. I do think Corbin's the exception to that, but he's the only guy that I really want to see on NXT. I don't want to see Dana Brooke and Los Lavarios. Get these people in the bin. Get these people released, or put them on Superstars or some shit. Put them on a show I don't watch. Put them on the dark match. I don't know. Just don't be trying to push them. I don't care about Los Lavarios. I don't care about Dana Brooke. I don't know anybody that cares about Los Lavarios or Dana Brooke. So, whatever. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I think what they've done with Baron Corbin's been pretty good, but no, not with these two. Kiana James versus Gigi Dolan. These two have been feuding for a while. Gigi went to get Kiana James's bag, but then James hit her move on the bag, the 401k onto the bag. What was in the bag? I guess we'll never find out, but Kiana James wins, and she celebrates after the match. So there you go. We then see last week's footage between Axiom Scripts and the new tag team, and we get a match later. Here we go. It's Bronco Nima and Lucien Price versus Axiom Scripts. Scripts turns on Axiom. Hardly surprising. He watches his teammate get beat up, and it's a win for Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Surprise, surprise, said nobody. Then we seen a video package. We seen Stacks really collect Tony D from prison. Then we come to the arena and we're having like a welcoming party for Tony D. He's got all the Italian family, the mafia. They're at ringside. They're in the ring. They're having like an Italian party for Tony D. He comes out. He thanks Stacks. He said this guy should be in Hollywood because he played Gallus. The Gallus boys got played. So I get Stacks in Hollywood. I like the family. I like Tony D. I like Stacks. Surely these guys have to win the belts. I think Tony D should be the world champion. Fuck it. I would have him be the world champion. We talk about factions. WWE like to have factions these days. For me, the family's better than the Bloodline and the Judgment Day. I just prefer Tony D. I think the gimmick, especially if you're into like that mafia style thing, it is really good. It's really entertaining, and I tell you what, the storyline they've done with him being in prison has been really good. And I know it's only been on for like 2 months or whatever, but it's actually been entertaining. It's been a lot more entertaining than anything the Judgment Day do, that is for sure. So I definitely prefer the family over the Judgment Day. Gallas come out, say that they're going to regret what they did. Gallas pull out like a baseball bat, but then like every member of Tony D's family pulls out crowbars, and it's like they're outnumbered by about fucking 15-3, and then Tony D and Stacks start beating them down with the crowbars, and then they put one of them through the table, and we're going to get this tag team title match at the Great American Bash. Can't wait, guys. Put the fucking belts on, put the belts on the family. Then we got Shizm backstage attacking Carmelo Hayes, and this sets up a 6-man tag match. Dragunov came to the aid. Who cares? Boring. Thea Hale versus Elektra Lopez. We see Hale win with the submission. What has happened to Elektra Lopez? I don't know. She was in Legado del Fantasma. She didn't get picked to go up to SmackDown, and since then she's pretty much done nothing. They said that they wanted her to stay on NXT so she could learn, so she could improve, but she's not really had an opportunity since then, has she? She's barely been on TV, so how can she improve if she doesn't get a chance to improve? I don't get that. I would have rather just seen Elektra Lopez move up with Legado del Fantasma. It would have felt fresh having her on the roster instead of Selena Vega. And you can argue that Selena Vega's been helped big time by being in the new LWO, but why not have both even? You know, it just doesn't make much sense to me, but I mean, whatever. I mean, Selena Vega, she's been on the roster for about 10 years now and done nothing, so why do we care? Oro Mensah up next versus Eddie Thorpe. We have Noam Dar pretending to be in a wheelchair, pretending to be paralysed, but there's a God. God healed him because he tried to get up out the chair to help Oro Mensah, but it didn't work, and he ended up getting his ass whooped. But Oro Mensah got the win. So Oro Mensah won which well, I guess is good for him. D-Jack came out during the match and dropped Eddie Thorpe with a big kick. Please don't tell me D-Jack is now going to go into a feud with Eddie Thorpe just to lose. This D-Jack guy looks fucking badass. He looks like the Punisher. He looks like a guy that would just destroy people for the fun of it. Yet, every time he's in a big feud, a big rivalry, he loses. And you can't create a star. You can't make somebody a main eventer if they don't win. The only thing you can do is create bums and jobbers by losing. I think D-Jack needs to go on a winning run. I think he should have been the one to end Wesley's NXT North American Championship, but they never done that. And we'll speak a bit more about that North American Championship later. But it's a win for Oro Menza. We then got a promo with Davenport and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez talking about her anxiety and mental health. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't want to hear this. No, but who wants to hear this? I mean, why the hell are we now promoting mental health, mental illness on wrestling? I mean, what the hell? Why? What? I don't understand it. What are we going to promote next? Are we going to have a trans world champion? You fucking bet it we probably are. I just don't get it, man. I don't know why we're promoting something and we're promoting it in like a story as if it's good. Like, if you've got health issues, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go and get it fixed. Of course you should, but let's not bring that into WWE and make out as if, well, that's a good thing to have, or, you know, or like glorify it almost. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, man. I don't get it. But anyway, it was a crap promo. I don't care about it. Let's move on. North American title is on the line. Main event, DOMINIK Mysterio versus Wesley. Look, the match is good. Judgment Day were at ringside. Entertaining match. I can't take away from Wesley. He's had a lot of good matches in his title run. I just think the thing's been boring. I think he's had it too long. I don't think the guy's got any sort of character or personality. He's just a dude that is athletic and he can wrestle well in the ring and do big moves and shit like that. Flips, like exciting stuff, but I just don't see what the appeal to him is. I think there's a lot of guys that can do what Wesley does, so I don't see the special attraction. But he loses tonight. Rhea Ripley gets involved. It's crazy because Finn got involved. He couldn't do anything. Damian Priest got involved. Wesley took him out. But then Rhea Ripley gets involved. Of course, it's the woman of the group that has to get the attack on Wesley. And it's the woman of the group that wins them the title. Like, what is this simpy shit, man? Seriously, why are we living in a world now where it's like all women are great and all men are fucking little rats on the floor, all rodents, you know, they're all vermin. The Judgment Day couldn't get the job done. Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, they all suck, but Rhea Ripley, she is the goddess. She is the one that can bring all the titles to the Judgment Day. I mean, what garbage is this? She's already got a fucking belt. Did she really need to be the one that won this match for Dominic? Of course she did, because she's big, strong, masculine, man-looking Rhea Ripley, and she needs to be the dominant leader of the Judgment Day, and fuck the rest of them. They're all weak little bitches. It's Rhea Ripley. She's the woman. She's the man. She can be whatever she wants. Maybe she's a trans man. Who knows? She is the best. That's the goddamn gimmick we're going down here, guys, and it absolutely sucks. Fucking sucks. You can't take the Judgment Day serious when these three are fucking losers and the only reason they're being successful is because there's a woman that is winning all their matches for them and bossing them around. I just don't get it. Damian Priest should have been the one. He's the big fucking badass. He should be the enforcer. He should have been the guy that came in, hit his finisher, the choke slam bomb on Wesley. Dominic covers him 1-2. That's it. We didn't need Rhea Ripley getting involved. Fuck Rhea Ripley. Let her stick to battling Rhea Gonzalez or whatever she's called. I don't need to see her winning every single match for the Judgment Day. It's pathetic. Could you imagine if they had a woman constantly winning matches for Roman Reigns? It would be dumb. Did Austin need Deborah to help win his matches all the time back in the day? No, he did fucking not. It sucks, man. It really does suck. I hate WWE now. I really hate it. Even when you get like decent shows where there's a couple of good things that happen, it's always filtered in with shit. I mean, you're never going to get a wrestling show nowadays where it's like good from start to finish. The best you can hope for is you get a couple of good things on a show and the rest of it's garbage. That's what I think anyway. This NXT meeting was alright. I just don't see why Rhea Ripley had to be the one. Why? What is this fascination with Rhea Ripley? Why is everyone obsessed with Rhea Ripley? Honestly, I just don't get it. Not that good in the ring, not that attractive, looks like a freak. She's big and she's muscular. People compare her to China. She's not fucking China, though, that is for sure. At least China actually wrestled the men legitimately. All Rhea Ripley does is beat them up. I mean, she doesn't wrestle fucking men. She doesn't go 50-50 with men. She just, you know, she gets all the advantages over the men, but doesn't have to take anything in return. So let's not compare her to China. China was like legit the first of her time and actually looked like she could go toe-to-toe with the men, and actually did. You know, actually put her body on the line against the men. Rhea Ripley doesn't do that shit. And I've heard rumours that, was it Finn Balor saying that Rhea Ripley is going to pursue male titles in the near future, and it's like, so how are those matches going to go? Is she just going to beat them up and squash them 1, 2, 3 without taking an offensive move? I mean, how's that shit going to work? Anyway, guys, that's it for your NXT review. I like the family. I like Tony D, man. Big Tony D. I like Tony D. DOMINIK Wesley match was good. I just would have preferred somebody else to help him get the win in the end. Now, you could say it's a collective unit. You could say it was a collective effort. But why does Rhea Ripley have to be the one that gets the final hit on Wesley? You know, you got Damian Priest coming in. He gets taken out, but Rhea Ripley's the one that gets the last hit. Why? I'll tell you why. It's because, WWE have to promote this strong, superior women, and men are shit, women are great. That's what we're going with here. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That's your NXT review. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I mean, it was alright. It was fine. It wasn't horrible. Wasn't good by any means, but it was okay, and I guess we'll see what happens. I think I forgot to mention Tiffany Stratton came out after Thea Hall won her match, and she tapped out again, so that's her tapped out twice. I believe we might get a submission match, so we're going to see what happens. But we'll find out, I guess, if it's going to be a submission match or not. But I think it is. I think it is going to be a submission match because she tapped out and agreed to it. Now, whether it gets made official, I don't know. Does Shawn Michaels come out and make the match submission match? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out, guys. Anyway, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. I will see you later. And, of course, until then, peace.